Hey guys, it's Friday, April 3rd. So today, the Do Now again goes over area of triangles, which was modeled. There's videos, feel free to look at that. And there's also how to find the surface area. So I'm not going to go over that again, as I told you, I believe, yesterday. So now we're going to flip over. We're going to actually turn our attention. We already did a dividing fraction, so you're going to do that. We already did a question on expressions, which I modeled, so you can refer back to that day, which I believe was sometime last week. But I want to go to page 6 with you right now. Okay, so I need everyone to go to page 6, problem 5. Page 6, number 5. We're going to actually do this one together. It says, Demi sells 35 tickets for a school fundraiser. The total price is $700. So 35 tickets cost $700. You need to write and solve an equation. So our task is we have to write and solve an equation. So let's write that down or annotate that. We have to write and solve an equation. Okay, so here's what we're going to do here. When we have an equation, we need to have some kind of variable. So we need to figure out what variable will we use to find out the price of each ticket. So to me, I'm going to say let, parentheses, t equal, or any variable you want, represent the cost of each ticket. Okay, you could pick any variable. This t can become a w, s, j, whatever you want. Now we're going to write the equation. So let me get green. Equation. Okay, I got 35 tickets. I know that the variable that I assigned was t. You're going to use your variable that you picked. But I know that each means I have to multiply. So I'm going to multiply 35 times my variable, whatever it is, and mine was t. The total means is, total cost means is, equal sign, $700. So there's my equation. Now I need to solve the equation because I want to know what variable, what number makes t true, meaning how much is each ticket. So I'm going to make my wall method. Mr. R showed you this way. I need to get rid of the 35 because I want to figure out what value the t is. So I'm going to do division because the inverse of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by 35 on both sides. Now, 35 divided by 35 is 1. That is why I crossed it out, because 1t is the same as t. When there's no coefficient, you put a 1 there. So 1t is the same as t. Now, 35 into 700. This goes 0. This goes 2 times. This is 70. Bring down the 0. The answer would be $20. So t is equal to $20 per ticket, or whatever your variable is. It doesn't matter. Your variable is equal to $20 each and every single time. Okay, let's turn our eyes and ears now to, let's go to this page, and let's focus on page 10 I want to review with you. So everyone's going to go to page 10. Here we go. Page 10 now. We're going to do problem 8. It's a word problem. So page 10, number 8. Here's what we got. I'm going to read you the question and put the key information on the board for us to solve. It says, Ilani has two pet pigs that race around a circular track, both track A and B. Both pigs start at the same time. Pig A returns every 6 seconds and pig B returns every 5 seconds. If the pigs continue running, what is the least amount of time in seconds that both of them will arrive at the same point? So we got two pigs here. We got pig A and we got pig B. I'm going to make my t-shirt like we always do. Pig A, and it says that it is in 5 seconds. Does it say 5 seconds? It says, no, sorry, 6 seconds. 6 SEC seconds. And pig B is 5 seconds. Now, we have to figure out if we're doing the LCM or the GCF. And the key word here is least. So when I see the word least, I'm going to do the LCM, which means I'm going to skip count to get my multiples, which are the products. So let's skip count the multiples of 6. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 56, and 63. I'm going to skip count my multiples of 5, which are easy. I'm going to do, this is 5 on each side. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Now, I'm going to figure out what numbers are shared between both. There's no 6, 12, 8, no, 30. Oh, I see a 30 here and a 30 here. So my least common multiple is 30, which means both pig A and pig B will be together in 30 seconds. So it will be 30 seconds is when both pig A and B will be reunited. Okay? I'm going to model for you page 14 now. Okay, page 14. Let's look at this question. A printer in the school computer lab prints 56 pages in 4 minutes. At this rate, how many pages does it print in 7? Use a proportion to solve and get full credit. So we got 56 pages in 4 minutes. At this rate, how many pages, I don't know the pages, will there be in 7 minutes? So, one of two things here. I could do the butterfly method or I could find the unit rate. But because the question says unit rate, let's find the unit rate. So first off, we're going to take care of this side. We're going to divide 56 by 4 to get how many pages I do per minute. This goes one time, this gives me 4, 5 from 4, 1, bring down the 6, this gives me 14. So what this is saying is that my unit rate is 14 pages per 1 minute. Now I can use the butterfly method to figure out how many pages I will do in 7 minutes, because unit rate says I have to divide to figure out how many pages I can do in 1 minute. I'm just going to recopy that down. Blank pages in 7 minutes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross multiply. I'm going to use the butterfly method. So let's do the butterfly method. Sorry, it's a little crooked here. Butterfly method. Okay. I'm going to make my little head, my little antlers, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So now, I got to multiply 14 times 7 first to figure out what that product is. Let me write that down over here. 14 times 7. 8, 2, 98. The product is 98. Now, that's the answer because 98 divided by 1 is itself. So it's going to take 98 pages in 7 minutes. But here what I want you to understand this. If I create a ratio table, I'm going to erase this now. I'm going to actually show you how I can also write it the same. We got pages over minutes. Let's look at what we got. We already got unit rate. We already got that 1 page is 14. 1 minute, I can do 14 pages. We know that in 7 minutes, I'm going to be able to do 98 pages because 1 times 7 is 7, because that's my unit rate. And 14 times 7 is equal to 98. So there's another way you could have solved it with a ratio table. Now, I'm going to turn your attention to page 15 now. This one's a trick one. I know you're going to need some help. On 15, we're going to do that page. We're almost there. So page 15, number 13. Okay, this one's a little bit tricky, but I'm pretty sure we can get it together, okay? So I'm going to read you the problem and then write what it is on the board. So this question says, looks like this. All right. The table shows the relationship between the number of pies sold at a farm and the total profit made in dollars from the pies sold at the farm. For every 3 pies, I make $9. For 6 pies, I make $18. For 9 pies, I make $27. For 12 pies, I make $36. Based on the table, what is the profit made for each pie sold? So I'm just going to say N is pies, and P represents the profit. Profit is money earned. When you make a profit, it's money that you earn based on whatever you sell. So 3 pies, I make $9. 6 pies, I make $18. 9 pies, I make $27 or dollars. And 12 pies, I make $36. Now, first part A. Let's think about this, okay? Let's be realistic here. How do I go from 3 to 9? I multiply by 3. How do I go from 6 to 18? I multiply by 3. I'm finding the pattern or rule. How do I go from 9 to 27? I multiply by 3. And how do I go from 12 to 36? I multiply by 3 because my unit rate is 3. Therefore, for every pie that we sell, we make $3. So the profit earned is $3. 3 or 3.00 is the same because money goes to the hundreds place. Let's look at part B now. Write an equation to find P, the total profit made in dollars when pies are sold at a farm. So now we need to come up with the equation, right, which is the rule. So the equation is going to have an equal sign now. The P represents the total profit. The P is the profit. So we know we have to equal the profit is equal to. When I look at the ratio table, if I'm multiplying everything by 3, I'm taking 3 times N because N represents the pies sold. So I'm going to multiply 3 times N, which is the number of pies, to get my profit. So for example, if I have 3 pies, if I substitute 3 in place of N, 3 times 3 is 9. That gives me $9 in profit. 3 times 6 should give me 18, and it does. 3 times 9 for pies gives me 27. And if the profit is $36, 12 times 3 for N equal 36. That is how I know that I'm correct. Let's look at part C now. Part C. Use your equation to calculate the profit made in dollars when 18 pies are sold at the farm. So if the pies is 18 and the pies is N, I'm going to write N equals 18. This is my equation. P equals 3N. I'm now going to substitute 18 in place of 3 to figure out the profit or money earned. So the 18 goes in the place of N. So now the profit is equal to 3 times 18. And 18 times 3, folks, gives me a grand total of $54. So the profit that I earn on 18 pies is $54. If I want to continue the ratio table, I'm going to show you on that as well. I'm going to continue this down that you should be writing. If I count by 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 9, 18, 27, 36, this would be 45. and then 18. Oh, wait, I messed up. Oh, no, 9 would be $54. My mistake. So there you go. I got 18, whether I use the table or the equation. But the question asked you is the equation. So 18 pies, I earned $54 because each pie I make $3. Now, the last part. I'm going to erase part A and B now. Okay, because now it's going to get a little bit trickier, so just bear with me. Actually, I'm going to erase all of this. I'm going to rewrite the equation at the top of the paper. So part D now. Okay, we have P equals 3N. It says, on one day, the farm made a profit of $108. So my profit, P, is $108. How many pies can you sell? So let's figure this out. In place of P, I'm going to substitute 108. 108, because that's the profit, P, is equal to 3N. Now, I'm going to use the wall method to figure out how many pies I need, because 3 times some number equals 108. So the inverse of multiplication is division. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 is 1, or just n, equals. So now, 3 divided by 108. 3 goes into 1, 0. Goes into 10, 3 times. This gives me 9. I subtract here, and I get a 1. Bring down the 8. 6 times, because 6 times 3 is 18. Therefore, the answer is 16 pies. No, hold on a second. Hold on. So something is wrong over here. Hold on. 3, 9. No, that's correct. 30. Sorry, not 16. 36 pies. My mistake. I had it right here. 36 pies. 36 times 3. So we're going to check it. 36 times 3 is 108 pie. $108. So therefore, the N is 36 pies. Okay? Now, let's go look at page 17 now. Actually, not 17. I scratched it. Let's go look at page 19 because we haven't really done volume in a while. So let me show you how you do volume real quick, all right? So I'm sorry, we're going to go to page 19. Okay, page 19. It looks like this. Page 19. Number 17, it's volume. Okay, so volume. We got a rectangular prism. It has a height of 4.5 inches. It has a length of 8.5 inches. And it has a width of 3 inches. Make sure I write inches. We need to figure out the volume of this rectangular prism. So first off, I need to know what the volume formula is. So I'm going to write that over here. The volume formula, which is V is equal to L for the length times W the width times H the height. I need to convert all my fractions into decimals. So now I'm going to start substituting. I don't know the volume, so I'm going to leave it as V. I know that if I have half for 50 cents, I got 0.50. So 4.5 is the same as 1/2. I'm going to multiply. Sorry, that's not right. Sorry. It's 8.5. I'm now going to multiply by 3, which is my width. And then I'm going to multiply by the height, which is 4.5. Doesn't really matter what order, because you're just multiplying 3 numbers. So now we have 2 options. I like to multiply my decimals first to get that out of the way, and then multiply whatever's left. So let's go do the multiplication of the decimals over here. We're going to multiply 8.5 times 4.5. Remember, decimals at the end. 8.5 times 4.5. This is 25. Carry the 2. This is 42. Put a 0. Hold my place value. This is 20. This is 32, and 2 is 34. 5, 2, 8, 3. Now there's one DP, decimal place, and another DP, decimal place. There are two decimal places, so the decimal's to the right of the ones place. Therefore, I have to move it 2 places to the left. 1, 2, it now goes in between here. So I took care of this and this. Now I have to multiply 3, because there's 3 numbers, times 3. This is 15. Look at the purple marker. This is 6 plus 1 is 7. This is 24. This is 11. Now there are 2 places, decimal here, 1, 2. So the volume is equal to 114 and 75 inches to the 3rd power. 114.75 inches cubed or to the 3rd power. So again, to find the volume, you're going to multiply the length, the width, times the height. When you have a fraction, you change it into a decimal. So 1/2 is the same as 0.5. That is why 0.5 is there. I still kept the whole number. I like to multiply the decimals first. So I multiplied that first and got 38.25. Then I multiplied the whole number of 3, and that's how I arrived at 114 and 75 or 114.75 inches to the 3rd power. Okay, I want to go over page 21 with you, and then you're going to have an exit ticket to do on Google Classroom when we finish. All right, last page, final page. Again, feel free to reach out to Mr. Reznai. We are available from 8 o'clock until 4:30, Monday to Friday. Feel free to send out an email as well. Okay, last problem of the day. Now we are on page 21. Problem 2. This one's pretty straightforward. Okay, we have a chart here that I'm not going to write because you have the chart. It looks like this. What we have to do is we're going to turn the elevation into an integer, write it here, and answer the question. We're taking the natural feature, turning it into an integer, writing it on the line, and then answering the question. So I'm just going to get right to the question where it says, write the name of the artifact. Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D, Part E. First one, Mount Everest. It says above. Above is positive, so we can write this as plus 7,022 or 7,022. Either one is correct because above is a positive integer. Mount Rainier. Mount Rainier. The word is below. Below is negative. So it's negative 48,910. This is below. Negative. Next one, artifact C, Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon. It says sea level. 0 means sea level. Next one, St. Augustine Cave. Okay, these are the integers. What's on the line? Actually, I'm going to make it easier. Whatever I boxed is the integer. That's what you're going to write. You're going to write it all, but I just want to box the integers so there's no confusion. Above is positive, so plus 189 or 189, and I'm going to write the word above. And I'm going to move in a second for you to look. Above. Either one of these is correct. Last but not least, we have Dead Sea. Dead Sea is below. Below is negative. So 824,786 is below. All I did was I rewrote the artifact and I put it as an integer. The last part on the very, very bottom, explain how you determine if the elevation required a positive integer, a negative integer, or 0. So I'm just going to have you write shorthand. Positive integer always means above sea level. I'm going to draw a picture in a second too. Negative integer is below sea level. And when you have 0, it means sea level. So I'm just going to draw a quick little visual over here in purple. I hope, actually, yeah, I think you can see it over here for you to look at. Right? If this is 0, this is 0, which is sea level. Anything above is going to be positive. Above is positive. And anything here below sea level, which is below 0, folks, is going to be negative. And there you have it. Please make sure you do your exit ticket. Feel free to reach out again if you have any questions or concerns, but just know that all your Do Nows exit tickets and classwork and any assessments that we give, quizzes on Google Classroom, must be completed. So please make sure you're up to date. Again, reach out, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon, folks. Bye-bye.